I guess the way I would think about it is you pursue a practice which allows you to experience emptiness. I don't want to say understand, because that's a conceptual relationship, and you experience it. And when you experience that, is the idea then that there's no mind whatsoever, or is there a mind by convention but it's not interesting? How does that? What are you left with when you get to the end of the process?
Laughter.
Laughter. No, I've got a lot of work to get on that.
Yeah, so there isn't anything that you gain. As Peter said, what we're here to do is drop it away. Drop it away. There's so much accretion. There's so much that gets in our way. We can't even see anything, and it's all being revealed all the time. So for Zen practitioners, it's how do we strip away all of the personal, emotional, conditioned way of viewing everything. What happens is we view everything through lenses of various colors, right? And we feel there's something there, but we can't quite see it. It's like this veil. How do we take that veil away and really become one with everything that is breathing with us? So that's really the experience that you might say is a transformational one that we can have through long meditation. And I don't think it's so different from what you've discovered in Tibetan meditation and Theravada as well, right?
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't, as a practical matter, we've been focused on just certain groups, and so unfortunately we haven't studied Zen or Theravada and Buddhists in the lab, but that was more a product of the Dalai Lama being very forceful in trying to get this off the ground. And it's not a particular, I hope it's not seen as a bias that we're trying to prove that this one particular sort of sectarian strain of Buddhism is the one true one. It's never been, or disprove. You could take the opposite.
It's not a matter of proving one over the other, but of finding the proof through one's own experience. And that's really what each one of us is doing. Engaging in meditation to do exactly what the Buddha said. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Sit down and shut up.
So, just to stir the pot a little bit, when you put things that way, now I mean I understand that you just raised the issue that this is a useful endeavor, and incidentally I won't get offended no matter what your answer is. But when you put things like that, it makes it seem to me, and this is quite possibly true, that as somebody that's attempted to rationalize a semi-Buddhist lifestyle by being a scientist that kind of does this sort of stuff, it's a cover story, to make everything consistent with, sort of my cultural upbringing and so on. But I think what you just said was that there's really nothing to be gained by doing it, right? That the going external is perhaps useful to the world, but ultimately there's no secret to be gleaned by doing that, because the process is entirely an internal one.
Here's where words become so filled with treachery. What you just said is true, and at the same time, we have to see all of the efforts that may be going toward the external proof or the external understanding or rationale or method are never separate from what is happening within. So you have the subjective, the objective as one when you really touch on something that transforms you as a scientist. You feel there's something, right? You're not just doing it for the hell of it. You really feel, what is this? When you ask this question, what is this, as a scientist, it's no different from what we as Zen practitioners are doing. What is this? Is it external? Is it internal? Where does the border lie between those?